Hi, welcome to our fifth video in our Enterprise Medical Data Management System. In this video, we will be looking at pre-registration online. If you go to my website, there's a link under the Enterprise Medical Data Management System. We have a link to our pre-registration online portal. So once you click on that link, you will be taken to the portal for the pre-registration. Now we have a captcha just to ensure that, we all know what captcha does. So let's enter the captcha for X4HK 4D. Submit. Alright, so this is the interface for the pre-registration. General information. Last name, first name, address, age, and that sort of thing. The fields with the asterisks are compulsory fields. Basically, we use these fields to ensure that we're not duplicating the customer data. So if I were to go ahead and enter a customer, we can also use this in office, if it is that you have a lot of customers waiting, you probably, you have your tablet or your iPad. You could bring up this interface and the customers can pre-register. It, reduce the load on your front-end staff. So it comes in pretty handy. So if it is that your database resides in-house, your IT personnel, of course, would have to create the necessary firewall rules to allow the online registration. Date of birth. 1993, April 7th, female. So the information here is optional, but it really assists us in uniquely identifying the customer to avoid any duplication. And we set an appointment date. Let's set it for the 22nd, same time. So once that's completed, we submit. And you get a prompt that, okay, all right, the appointment was added successfully. So we click on OK. Now, if we were to go in office to look at our dashboard, you would now see that the online registration is populated. That grid is now populated with David, Sandra, Mary. That's the customer we just added. So once they come in to honor their appointment, we basically need to verify that they are who they say they are. So we can click on the surname and the record is populated, comes up. Now we can continue with the registration by adding the next of kin, the employer, any NCDs and allergies. So we can continue from here with the registration. That's why we refer to it as a pre-registration, because not all the information, the pertinent information is captured, of course, but there are some amount of fields that are still not populated, like the next of kin. So let's quickly populate the next of kin. I can say, okay, it's the same address as the customer, so that's taken care of. Last name, other name, what's the relation? Sister, of course, sister. Telephone number, email address, at Gmail. Employer. No, this is the employer for the customer. Test. Just to protect all the employers out there, I'll just use some generic description for the different fields. St. James. TST. Let's use HR here. Test. And if you remember from one of the previous video, we had said that if it is that you want your sick leave to be addressed to your employer, this is where you would place that check mark. So once a sick leave is generated, your employer information will be appended to that sick leave. NCDs, allergies, let's start the first two. A bit asthmatic, and a bit hypertensive. So once we double check or eyeball everything seem okay, we can go ahead and submit this customer information, and at this point it will be added to our central database. So once the information is inputted online, it gets placed in a temporary table, and once it comes in for verification, it's basically verified, because the patient would be, the customer would be in office, and we can gather the remaining information. Before I submit this though, what if it was information that is not accurate? The last name is blah blah blah, EEE, the other names FFF asterisk. So somebody playing around. So you would not, just looking at what's in the grid for the online registration, it's not accurate information. So instead of having it sitting there, we can basically delete the record. So once you click on the appointment link, you get a prompt. You sure you want to delete this record? We can say, if we're sure, we can say yes. If not, we say no. Alright, so let's assume this was invalid information. So I would say yes, and that information will be deleted. So it disappears from the online registration. If it was valid, we would have added it to our database. So let's quickly go back and register another customer online. That's GJKGX6. SAM. Sam's. Betty Maria, 1, 2. Samstown and Kingston, date of birth. That's, but it's not that old. 2023, not that young. 98, right, that's a good year. Female, marital status. Alright, like I said, that's the information that's asterisk. That's important, and of course we need to set a appointment date when they want to see the doc. Submit. So that was successful. Okay. So if we go back to our interface, all right. So Betty's there. She's in office now. We have no mobile number, no email, so we can capture that information once they come in. So the email address would be the mobile. We can go ahead and capture next of kin, employer, NCD. So once we're satisfied, we can submit add that now to our main database. So the appointment information should pop up in our appointment grid. Right, so there it is. So we have an active appointment. Now, once the date is in yellow, we know it's a next day. So this appointment is due next day. So we would send out an email address looking like that, just as a reminder. And once a reply or once a call in to confirm, we would basically change the status from pending to booked. So this appointment has been verified. So once booked, we can always edit if necessary, but we won't be changing anything. Well, alright, let's change to today, so I can show you the next step. So let's assume the time we have is 11:05. Alright, so today being the 21st, let's change it to today's date. The time will have to be in the future and update. So you notice the date now change to, I don't want to say purple, but it's purplish to me. So that means it's today, it's due today, and you notice the other name, we now have an hyperlink for the other names. So once we click on the hyperlink, we're basically converting it to a visit. So once this comes up, we input our vital signs and our urine analysis, and we submit. We went through this before, so I won't, bog you down with that again. So once we click submit, that appointment is now converted to a visit. No, I don't want to do another customer at this time. So now they're in the visit grid, and this is where the doctor will now pick them up and do his examination. I hope I was able to entertain you, and I will see you in our next video. Thanks for sharing.